Hey YouTube, it's me Robin again. I'm coming back with the second video. And this video, I didn't want to put it again on my fasting video because this one's um, a little bit more deep. And I wanted to make sure that that people had a choice whether or not they wanted to view this video. Um, I watched a video last night about violence against women, and the young lady in the video, I'm sorry, I'm not even sure what her name is, but the young lady in the video was speaking about how often violence is committed against women, and we hear that a lot, about women getting beaten up by their partners and things of that nature. And that's what I thought the video was actually going to be about, but she actually twisted it, and she was giving her experience. She currently lives in New York City. She's in school in New York, and she was giving her experience of the living in New York, living in Brooklyn, and the way some men objectify women, and the fear that women feel coming up, or walking down the block or going certain places, especially when they're by themselves, or even when they're with someone else, because there are men out there who just seem to not be able to take no for an answer, So I watched it and I felt myself just getting angry. I was getting so angry and I couldn't understand why I was so angry. I've been out of New York now almost 10 years. So I go back very frequently, but I haven't lived there in a long time. And so I couldn't understand why I was getting so angry, but it took me back to this place of being a young girl and being in a train and going to school in the morning and the train being crowded, and you know that the man behind you is feeling up on you, and he's rubbing himself against you, but you're so scared to say anything, you're so scared to do anything. Or the times when you see the older guy, like, I have this thing about those hats that the older men wear. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but they're just like, they have a brim, and they have, like, it looks like a little band around them. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she, was telling me about the hats. And I was like, I hate those hats. I hate those hats. I don't even know why I hate those hats. And so we just kept talking, and then it came out in that conversation that I hate those hats because those hats in my head signified those old men who used to sit there on the corners and look at us as young girls with lust in their eyes, like they didn't care that we were children, like they didn't care about what they were doing to us. Like, I actually had a strong hatred for those hats, just because so many of those guys who used to sit outside the corner stores, the older guys, they used to wear those hats. And so it's things like that that you don't even know affect you. And I didn't know that, again, like that this even affected me until she transformed me back. And I remember watching the movie For Colored Girls, and the most major part of that movie for me was, um what's her name? Her name is, I forgot, but she's the singer in the movie, and she was the one who was performing the illegal abortion. Um, I think Macy Gray, Macy Gray, and was her part. She had this poem. She was talking about how life was limited to a few blocks, and why it was limited to a few blocks because of the men outside, the yelling, the screaming, the touching, the grabbing, so she's limited herself to her few blocks. And that was one of the most major things for me about that movie, aside from the obvious scene that really affected me. But that was just, I remember watching it and just like, I know that feeling. So when I watched this video last night and I'm listening to this young lady describe walking down a block in New York trying to get home, and men just yelling and hey ma, hey ma, like, I remember that. I remember that so well. I remember being bundled up. You don't know what I look like. You don't know anything about me, but you're just yelling. I remember always being scared of the fact that somebody might throw a bottle at my head because I didn't respond. I remember when I taught myself that I had to talk to them or they were going to hurt me. So I would see them and, they would say, hey, and I'm just, hi, how you doing? And, you know, and then once you say hi, then they want to follow you and then they want to keep talking. But it was just like, let me talk enough. Let me not say enough. Let me say I have a boyfriend. Let me say whatever. Let me just do enough to give the impression that I'm really, really busy and I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I just need to go. I just need to keep walking because those situations are so scary. They're so scary when it just seems like they're so angry. They'll say something to you one minute and the next minute, hey, sure, let me talk to you, and then the next minute it's like, B, you ugly anyway. Like, I don't know if they understand what that does to a woman. I don't know if they understand how much we are affected by that stuff, how hurt we get. You know, we just don't want to be in a situation and be disrespected. We just don't want a man to come up to us and feel like it's okay to grab us. Like, how do you just grab somebody? How do you just think it's okay to put your hands on somebody? I had a lot of fear in regards to men, and with everything in my past, with everything with growing up, and I had been in situations where I was molested in different times in my life by different people, and then to have a lot of physical and mental abuse going on in my household, and then to have to there was no safe spot. You can't go outside. You're not safe inside. There's just no safe spot. Always have to worry about what somebody's gonna do to you. I think back to those days and I thank God for them. I thank God for them because I had to feel that fear so I can understand. Like, I'm listening to this young lady and I understand exactly where she's coming from. Exactly. You know, I I I can, if you listen to our stories, they'll be word for word for word for word. And this is with plenty of people that I know. This is what this is just the experience, and I'm lucky to be in a in, involved in a thought process where I'm just like, well, why? Why do men think it's okay? Why do men think it's okay to just disrespect women? And I think it's the same thing across the board. Why people are disrespecting black women, or American black women, or the way they're doing a lot of things. It's because you take a gross minority, you take the 5% that think that's okay, and you pretend that it's 95%, and that women who don't think it's okay is the exception. You know, um, you they're trying to make this into something that's normal. People believe that this is normal behavior. People are believing that this is okay behavior, that that's how you're supposed to talk to women, that that's how we're supposed to be regarded, and it's not, you know. Um, it's not. So I think a lot of the problem comes from the, the TV is raising children, and you watch music videos and women being objectified, and hold on a second, I'm about to go into a part two because my time is almost up. Okay, I'll be right back.